I think one of the big things that has been missed with gut health is the interaction with the environment. The problem with the sanitized world is that we're not entraining our immune systems. Part of our bacteria not only comes from fermented food, but it comes from us interacting with the environment. It comes from us picking up dirt and playing with dirt and playing with trees and leaves and foliage. We get bacteria from then eating straight from the environment. So it's really essential that kids are outdoor playing in the environment.
Welcome to WonderVoice. And what is this podcast about? We are challenging the way how leaders to think about the wellness in their personal and professional area. And I always been bringing the experts and people who passionate in the specific wellness areas. Then together we can co-create a new standard of wellness in the digital age. Today we are talking about one of the most popular topic, gut health. And in general, we're all hearing the gut health is about probiotics, microbiomes, and also the different gut genetics, or even many other diet programs out there in the online space. Most of them, they actually putting a very general advice. So today we have Anthony Hartcher, who is the clinical nutritionist, health coach, who's very passionate to optimize their health based on the lifestyle strategies, and also, which is I just learned from him this morning, encourage us to listen more inside, less outside messages. So welcome to the WonderVoice, Anthony.
Thank you for having me, Rachel, and hello viewers and listeners. It's a delight to be here in the Wonder Lab facilities. They're amazing. I really have been in awe as what Rachel's created here is incredible. And so it's a delight to be and an honor to be your guest today.
So maybe let me first to ask in general, what's the gut health really do?
Yeah, so it's an essential function of life. We need to bring in food, nourishment for the body, nutrients. There's obviously the macronutrients, which is the fats, the proteins, and the carbohydrates. We need the micronutrients, which we really get too much into, and we lose picture of the macronutrients. So from a gut health point of view, we need to more focus on the macronutrition. I think a lot of companies are there to sell particular strains of probiotics or their unique strain that they've found somewhere. But the thing about any company out there, they want to make money. So they'll tell you that you need their strain of probiotic. But in actual fact, depending on where we've been or our mother, so our gut microbiome is from the mother. So you need to follow your mother's pathway, the ancestral pathway of your mother, to really understand your gut microbiome and what's going to work for you. I think what people get carried away with is they see something advertised, it's advertised really well, that this strain helps with this. There may be some evidence there, but you might not be deficient in that strain. And then the problem is you buy that and you get too much of that strain, which then overpopulates and causes dysbiosis, which is an unbalanced microflora in your gut. And so ultimately what we're seeking, just as we are with life, we're seeking a balanced microflora.
I went to the chemist and then just pick up one of the most popular, maybe they do a really good in advertising, but indeed that's really help and supporting during that life stage. Including for my children, puberty, right? Or including to myself and menopause and perimenopause. Can you maybe explain a little bit more about how do we know what's micro and macro?
So macro being large and micro being small. So we need fats, carbohydrates, and proteins in large quantities. And the micro being the vitamins and minerals, we need them in micro quantities, very small quantities. Now, the problem with health today is that we get so focused on the micro picture, we lose sight of the bigger picture, which is the macro. And what's important to the gut microbiome is the macro picture and what we're consuming on a macro basis. The gut bacteria can help us make the vitamins, right? So this is the amazing thing. If we have a nicely populated gut with what supports our body, we can actually make some of these vitamins that we buy in the store. And I think we just get too carried away with all the advertisements and commercials and influencers that we think that we need something else and that will fix our problem. But in actual fact, we just need to understand ourselves and what we are deficient in or in the excess of, and then make decisions.
I can hear that what you say, we need to be listen more to our inside body. What's the body giving you the signal, what you need, instead of what outside world, for example, the advertisement, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, giving us more information about what those two things you mentioned about we cannot produce from our own body.
The number one thing is protein. Number one. And that hasn't been a focus in public health up until the recent change in the US food pyramid.
Oh, yes.
So
yes.
Up until this point, the focus has been predominantly on carbohydrates.
Yeah.
And as a result, we have lots of problems in our health system today as a result of excess carbohydrates and the wrong types of carbohydrates, right? The more simple carbohydrates, the refined carbohydrates, as opposed to the whole carbohydrates. And fat has also come back in. So fat was demonized and it was all, fat was bad, avoid fat, fat makes you fat. In actual fact, it's the reverse. In order to burn fat, we need to consume fat, right? There's essential fatty acids that we need that we can't make, and we need to get that from our diet. So if we exclude fat from our diet, we're excluding fat-soluble vitamins, and so then that results in health problems.
Hello, Wonder, who you are becoming. What is your next journey? Stay curious and stay open. Subscribe WonderVoice. You will get more stories, real story, more insights, and different journey coming next. And so, in terms of the cultural, were you seeing that maybe different environments also been contributing a part of the impact as well when compares to how to choose the protein and carbohydrate proportion in your every meal?
Absolutely. It's a really good point, Rachel. We have a very sanitized environment.
Yes.
Which kills all the bacteria, right? And part of our bacteria not only comes from fermented food, but it comes from us interacting with the environment. It comes from us picking up dirt and playing with dirt and playing with trees and leaves and foliage. We get bacteria from then eating straight from the environment. Recently, I visited Uganda. They don't worry about sanitization, but they have really great gut health because they're interacting intimately with the environment. I think one of the big things that has been missed with gut health is the interaction with the environment. Kids need to get outside more, play in the dirt more, and get dirty. As much as mum might not want to deal with that dirt, but it's really important for their microbiome. There's also the gut immune system. And that early entrainment all comes from our youth and interacting with the environment. We've been removed from the environment. We're indoors. We have indoor lighting. We have this sanitized environment, and kids are suffering and adults suffer as a result of not having this strong interaction with the environment. So getting back to your cultural question, we need to eat the foods that are surrounding us, because food brings information to our body to let us know where we're, what season it is, and helps our body to adjust what we need to the environment. If we're eating foods from the equator, but we're in the southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere, our body gets confused. Hey, you're eating this food, that needs all this sunlight to be broken down and assimilated, but I'm not seeing any sunlight. And that plays havoc with the metabolism of that food. And so it's really crazy for someone in the Nordics to be eating bananas or mangoes, for example.
Yeah.
Because the body's thinking, I don't have the environment or the enzymes, because I do different things at different times of the year. I make different enzymes based on what food's available in that environment. And so this disconnection with the environment is probably one of the biggest factors as to why we have health problems. So in summer, we've always been exposed to an abundance of food. There's abundance of animals running out there. They're all multiplying. At the moment here in Sydney, we've got sharks everywhere, right? Everything's growing well. Our veggies grow well. Everything grows well. And so we evolved with seeing lots of food and eating lots of food in the summer. So it's not a good idea to fast in the summer. We're working against nature. We're working against the environment. The best time to fast or do any fasting is in the winter, because that's when food was scarce. That's when we pickled things. That's when we preserved things. And so we didn't eat as much. But we're really good at fat burning in the winter. But what do? We actually eat less in the summer and eat more in the winter. And it goes against our biology. It's why we end up exiting the winter nourished and then we want to lose it all in the summer.
I also very curious about because my husband and I, right, we are a couple living together for many years, and I'm kind of during the perimenopause stage, but at the same time I know men also has the menopause, but they are talking about is the andropause, right? So if couple go to see you, meeting you, and then we try to find a better ways to improve our gut health, what will be your recommendation? Because we are different, right?
If you're feeling a bit of dysbiosis, you can sort of get back to balance by getting back more to more traditional foods that your grandmother, or we sort of got to go beyond our mother these days, because the Western culture has really corrupted the way in which we eat. But if we look back generations and generations, we can get to more traditional foods, more whole foods. And so that can really help if we're feeling a bit, our guts aren't right. First and foremost is really getting the environment right before we get worry about the food. Because it's the environment that entrains the body as to what it needs to do at that particular time. So, for example, we're not meant to eat outside of light. And you look at the Western culture, we eat too late at night. And our digestion system is turned down as soon as the light goes down. So we're eating at 8 p.m. at night, we see midday lighting, and our body is thinking, I need to produce lots of insulin, lots of cortisol, and then that really implicates the body to utilize that energy that night, which generally goes to stores, because the body gets too confused as to what it should be doing and just sends it, it's too hard, I can't deal with it, I'll push it to fat stores. Being exposed to artificial lighting, the body's doing midday things at 8 p.m. at night. And so our digestion isn't good. We really want to be making sure we're eating at the right times of the day. So in the evening, we don't want to eat much, because our body needs to do repair. If it's doing digestion, then the repair gets pushed down the road.
If I ask you only one thing you want the listeners, they really can be take it home and remember that will be contributing for the overall like a gut health well-being, what will be the one thing you want everyone to pay more attention?
You brought it up earlier. It's spending more time outside. At the moment, we're spending 90% plus of our time indoors, and our body's totally confused. Our digestion is poor. We do have irritable bowel syndrome and poor digestion and bloating, and it's just because the body doesn't know what time of day it is and what it should be doing properly, and it can't work optimally if we're not entraining our body as to what it should be doing at that time of the day. And the only way we can entrain the body is to step outside and experience more time outside. And so we need to create an environment that works for us, that involves more outdoor activity. And so if you're catching up with a friend, ideally sit outside at the cafe, do those little small things. Get up, go for a walk in the morning, first thing, to get light exposure, proper light exposure, to let the body know what time of the day it is. And you'll start to build a more robust nervous system, because being outside, we really allow that more regulation of the nervous system. The inside lifestyle is very agitating because we're surrounded by technology and surrounded by machinery that doesn't interact with our nervous system well. So if we want a more calm, a more zen-like life and a more flow state life, we need to interact with the environment and spend more time in the environment.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you for all your sharings. And anyone who wants to be connect with Anthony, so we will be having Anthony's bio link, the LinkedIn page or in the comment of this episode, and then you can find Anthony's the profile and then connect with him as well. Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you, for inviting me on this podcast, and I really appreciate the listeners for tuning in, and hope you found it insightful. So thank you.
If you find this conversation resonates to you, stay tuned with us, and for more like a different type of the wellness, we will be putting in this podcast WonderVoice and the 7 Wonder Wellness System in order to allow you to create your own health well-being and then managing the personal and professional growth without burning out. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.